Last week, the Truro Daily News sent Bill and I a set of questions that they wanted answers to so that they could build some articles and publish some bios about us. One of the questions they asked was, when did I become interested in politics? When did I first become interested in politics? And I had a really hard time with that question. And as I thought about it, I realized that the problem wasn't that I couldn't remember what happened. The problem was that I didn't see being involved in local government as politics. I see it as public service. So when I reframed that question in my head, it was easy to answer the question. When did I first become interested in public service? I can't remember. It really has been something that's always been part of my life and part of my family. My parents have always modeled public service and serving their community. They've been actively engaged in their church. They've been actively engaged in community service organizations and with other volunteer groups and sports groups around in the community. I participated in service myself from the earliest age. I don't remember the first time that I was involved in helping to set up an event or taking care of things or helping my dad count the collection from Sunday school and those sorts of things. As I moved on and I became older, my public service became more formalized. I became a leader in the volunteer organizations that I was working with and gradually moved on to become a board member and eventually served as an elected school board trustee. I was 1 year completing a term and then 4 years after being elected myself. As I moved through all of these positions, I've discovered that the benefits of public service are reciprocal. The community benefits from a variety of people contributing and giving back and providing their energy for different events. But the participant also benefits from the experiences, what they learn, and the connections that they develop. I honestly believe that I would not be where I am professionally if all I had were my professional experiences, if I hadn't had the public service that I experienced throughout all of these different things. So today I'd like to share with you some of the many lessons that I've learned and the skills that I've had enhanced through public service, with the goal of convincing you all that you can benefit immensely from public service as well as giving back to your community. So when I sat down to make a list of the things that I've learned from public service, again, it was not easy because there are so many different things and so many lessons that I have from things that I've done in public service. So I decided I needed to narrow it down to just a few because I do have a time limit. We're not supposed to be here speaking all night. So the two that I'm going to focus on are what I've learned about management and what I've learned about collaboration from serving as both a board member and a trustee. When I first joined a board, I had to learn a new role. I had to understand that governing boards should focus on policy and vision, that daily operational activities are handled by staff, but the governing board is responsible for the overall broad strategy. What do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish? What are our goals? And then the staff take care of the how and the details of getting it done. This can be a really tough transition for people who are doers, and I was definitely a doer. I was the one who was involved in every aspect of the events, from putting up the posters to cleaning up afterwards. And so for me to learn that I had to step back and provide the guidance and let it happen was a hard transition to make, but it's something that really benefited me in my career. When you're working on a board, you typically have a single employee who is responsible to you. So the CEO, in the case of the town, the CAO, the Chief Administrative Officer, that's the only person that the board is responsible for and responsible to. There shouldn't be engagement and direction and detail to all of the other levels, because if there is, that means there's one of two problems. It means that the board doesn't trust their Chief Administrative Officer, which means that they need to address that, or the board doesn't understand their roles. They don't understand that they should be stepping back and directing things through that chief, that executive director. This improved my management skills because it helped me understand the value of giving direction and standing back and not getting involved in micromanagement, of giving my staff overall direction and guidance and letting them develop their own way of approaching the work. It may not be exactly how I would do it, but sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's better. So my staff have given me the feedback that they really appreciate the freedom that I give them by letting them do their work, by giving them the guidance and the support that they need. I expect regular communication, especially those, can I give you a heads up conversations, which always make my heart stop for a minute of, okay, what's coming up? But with that regular communication and with the trust that's built that I can trust them to do their work, it frees me up to do some of the bigger projects and some of the bigger ideas, and gives them the experience and the fun of going out and learning new things and taking care of the things that they're able to take care of. And I developed this management style through my work as a board member. Another important aspect of public service is the value of learning the value of collaboration. When you are on a board, you have to be collaborative both with your fellow board members and with your constituents. A board member is one voice among many. A board member cannot do anything by themselves. They have to do it as a team. They have to vote together, they have to agree on it, and it can be a majority vote, it can be a consensus depending on the structure, but the board member themselves has no power. I have experienced this with some very difficult issues, including budget cuts, including school closures, those kinds of really tough personnel issues that come up. You have to trust each other as a group, that you're going to collaborate, that you're going to have the conversation. And I've served as chair through those experiences, and the chair particularly has to create an environment where everybody feels like they're included in the process and trusts that the process is fair and open. With respect to your constituents, you have to make sure that you are taking in all of that input, waiting to make a decision until you have all of the information, and giving everybody a fair opportunity to know what you're working on, and to take care, to participate and to provide input when they can. Sometimes collaboration is informal, sometimes it's just through casual conversations, but for larger boards and for boards with broader responsibilities and for public boards, it must be more formal. There must be opportunities for input and collaboration among everyone. So, I am going to leave with you today the wish that you all get engaged in some way at a level beyond just being a doer. Go out, find an organization that you really believe in, find out if they need new board members. They're always looking for board members. And I can promise you, you will feel good about the service that you do for the community, and you will gain some valuable experiences that will contribute to your leadership opportunities by doing that work.